Welcome everybody. Another open diner every Thursday at 6:30. Here we are. It's our 26th episode today. 26. And let's keep it going. Thanks to all of you who are always here. We get to keep going, and thank you for your support with everything. Today our topic is called Embracing Change. In light of all the changes that we've been going through for the past 8 months with the coronavirus, we're going to just talk about how we can make it a positive experience and how we can really learn how to benefit from what we're going through. So anyway, this is a cameras on event. It looks like everybody's got their camera on. So we want to see, it just helps to connect everybody together a little easier. And we're going on Facebook and YouTube right now. So for anybody who's on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to make comments, to let us know where you're from, let us know your name, and participate with the questions and the comments and everything. We'd love to hear from you, and we would be more than happy to read them during the event today. So thank you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and thank you all of everybody here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little presentation on, for those of you who aren't that familiar with Zoom, here's a little presentation on how to use your mute and chat buttons on Zoom.
When you start Zoom, your microphone is muted by default. Before you can speak, you must unmute yourself. The mute/unmute button on a computer is at the lower left. On the iPad, it's the first item on top. Remember to mute yourself when you are done speaking. During the event, there might be a need to read from the chat. Roundtable questions will be displayed there. Sometimes answers from other participants are summarized for a later discussion. You can also use the chat to make comments, get technical advice, etc. The chat button on a computer is here in the middle. On the iPad, it is in the three-dot menu here.
That was exciting. Thank you. So we're going to be tested on how to use our mute and unmute buttons in a little bit. But first, we're going to start off with a little entertainment. Chris is back again, and he's going to give us a little music. So Chris, take it away.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I have a tune I've been working on, so I figured I'll share it with you guys because you're usually a receptive audience. So hopefully it's okay. Let's get the guitar plugged in. All right. Sing a song of unity throughout the world. Sing along with me. Sing a song of harmony throughout the earth. Sing along and sing. Everyone can sing here, it's easy. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la, yeah. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, yeah. Come sing along, come sing along.
unity throughout the world. Sing a song, sing along with me. Sing a song of harmony throughout the earth. Sing along and sing. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la. Come sing along, come sing along. Come sing along, come sing along.
Cheers.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. So we're going to go around right now just to warm everybody up a little, and we're going to test how well you were paying attention to the mute and unmute button instructions. We're going to go around and we have some new people here, and we have some old friends that we've seen. So we're going to go around. Everybody, introduce yourself. Give us your name, tell us where you're from, and how you found out about us. So I'll start off. I'm Gary. I'll be your host tonight. I am from the other side of the country in Pasadena, Los Angeles, California. And I am here because of friends that turned me on to this, and I'm enjoying it very much. So who wants to introduce themselves? Go ahead.
I'm Brandon. I'm from New York, and I found this on Meetup.
I'm Nancy. Yes. I'm Nancy. Am I doing this?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nancy. I'm from New York, and I found this on a Meetup page precisely because what you were discussing, somehow connections and things, I thought, I'm getting on here. And I've been on here happily ever since.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm part of the crew that puts this together, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
I'm Carl. I'm from Florida, and I've been here from the beginning also. Sometimes I'm a host, and nice to see everybody.
I'm Roberta from Long Island, New York, and I met from friends, and I'm part of this team, and it's great to be here.
I am Eva. I'm from New York and Brooklyn, New York, and I'm here from the first time, and I'm very glad that it's happened that I'm here every week because it's incredible connection. Thank you.
I'm from New York. I've heard about it through a friend, and it's great.
I'm Linda from New York, and originally from New York City, but now I live in upstate New York, and I heard about it through some friends. Great to be here.
I'm Natalia from Chicago, and I've been here for several months already. Enjoy it so much.
And Mushki's back.
Yeah. Sorry I don't have my camera on. I'll do it next time. I just woke up from a nap and I missed my college class, and now I'm like, oh, there's the Zoom group I could join at least. I live in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn and I live in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm Soleil from Brooklyn, New York, and I don't exactly. I'm new. I don't exactly remember how I connected to this. It showed up somewhere.
It's nice to have you here. I'm glad you showed up. Thanks, Soleil. And Jerome's here. Hi, Jerome.
How you doing?
Good. And Karen, is this your first time?
Yes, hey, I'm Karen. I am from New Jersey, but I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I found you all through a meetup group.
Raleigh's nice. Is that it? Anybody else?
Just briefly, I'm Alisa from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, we have a lot of people from Brooklyn. That sounds great. And I heard about this event from friends. Enjoy it since I joined.
I'm Dan from Toronto, Canada.
Well, it's nice to have everybody here. We still have people coming in. But I'm gonna just give you a little introduction to what we're doing tonight. Like I said, the topic tonight is embracing change. And the reason we concentrated on that is because we've been in a crisis for about 8 months now. It's been that long. And with the pandemic, 4 months. And it's definitely brought some changes to our lifestyles, to the way we do things. Schools have closed. Parents have to learn how to do homeschooling. People have lost jobs. Other people have had to learn how to work from home virtually. And some people have lost loved ones due to COVID. It's been just major changes for everybody. And it's thrown us into a lot of change. There's a couple quotes I wanted to read. One by George Bernard Shaw. He said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." Benjamin Franklin said, "Change is the only constant in life. One's ability to adapt to changes will determine your success in life." And that's even the bad changes, the things that we consider bad. We have to find the good in them. So in other words, we have to change our habits, we have to change our lifestyle, and change the way we see things. And we've already seen how some of the things that are negative have also turned into positive things. We're starting to rethink our educational system. It's had a great impact on teaching and learning. You can have teachers and speakers and lecturers from all over the world without them having to fly anywhere. Worldwide shutdowns have presented the scientists with a glimpse into the workings of cities. Nature has thrived while we've been shut down and man hasn't been interfering. You see stories all the time about wildlife coming alive and thriving because the pollution has decreased quite a bit. Sometimes with a crisis like this, we find flaws in the system that we've been living in, and we find ways to correct it and make things better. But the most important thing, we find that we're realizing that people are a social animal, and we have to connect to each other. We've become so disconnected from each other over the past years that I think we're finally realizing that we need each other. We're interconnected. The virus spread so quickly from one small, place in China, and the next thing you know, within weeks, it's all over the world. So we are interconnected and interdependent. So anyway, we need to use the crisis as a as an opportunity for change. So that's basically where we're going tonight. We're going to have a little video later, but first we're going to have Roberta we're going to have a little fun. and have a little icebreaker, and everybody will get to participate and have a good time. So everybody relax, enjoy this. You're all of my friends here.
Can I say something first, Gary, please?
Sure.
So I got a message here that we have David Mancini from Quebec. He's watching, and Julia Calandrella from Connecticut. She's also watching. So we have a lot of people watching on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. So, hi, everybody. This is a fun part of the evening. We're going to do an icebreaker. It's good to relax and get to know each other a little bit through some questions. So, this is a fun one. Imagine you're an alien from a different planet and you're observing life on Earth. Point out an unusual human habit and explain to them, to your other aliens on your imaginary planet, these humans, what they're doing. As an example, picture how you would say to your alien friends, these people walk around and look at their phone all day. They don't even look at other people. Or you could have another one saying, let's say kids are all the time going to school studying, let's say algebra, but they don't even learn in school how to deal with people on their own planet. Or like, why are they drinking poisonous alcohol? Just as an example. So imagine you're that alien, you're here, you're observing humans. What would you tell people on your planet what our habits are? Does anybody want to go first? There's plenty of them. I only gave you 3 examples, but there's a plethora of our craziness as human beings. Anybody go. We'll do popcorn style.
How about this?
I can go.
All right. Those humans, they are very strange. They sometimes run around and they all shoot each other dead. Like, I don't understand. I think all I know is I see them, they're shooting guns, they kill each other, but they're all more popping up. And then sometimes you see them all together. I don't really know how it works, but it seems crazy that they kill each other. They just kill each other. I don't know. But it seems the string that they have, that works well not to kill.
Well, you had the accent down and everything from your planet. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Of course. Whatever.
I go. This is Sine.
Hi, Sine.
Hi. These humans are so strange. They start giving their kids information about math and physics and other things instead of actually investing in their mental health first so they can have a better life. I'm just doing this quickly.
Can I talk?
Sure, please do, Jerome.
All right. What is lacking in this whole world is total empathy, where you learn about yourself first, about your needs and wants. And then you can love or get along with other people or listen to them once you take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. And nobody's done it for thousands of years. They talk about it, but they don't do it. Thank you.
I like to say also, I suppose if I was an alien, I would say, what an incredible species. I mean, they have such cognitive abilities to describe the universe in mathematical terms. And just the sheer fact that they use the language faculty to express thought is pretty remarkable and quite distinct from the other species on the planet. However, those same cognitive abilities also predispose them to developing mythical beliefs, such as gods or goddesses. That's what I would say as an alien.
Well, there is very strange creatures running this planet. So there is a forests all over the world that produce the oxygen they are breathing in, and they are cutting them up. Cannot explain it to my
I
They
can
all,
go ahead.
they all seem to think that they act like they're the only ones on the planet. And it's quite interesting because they think that each one kind of believes that it doesn't need anything else, that it can kind of isolate itself and be okay, but yet they're completely interconnected. And it's almost like they don't realize this. Their banking systems are interconnected, their food production is interconnected. Everything they get is from somebody else, yet they don't seem to respect that fact yet.
These people, they're ruining their environment. I mean, they're dumping stuff into their water systems, and they're throwing stuff all over the place, and they don't seem to care about any other species on the planet or their climate or their environment.
Some are rude and some are friendly. Can't understand that.
They seem to have all these natural resources, such a rich planet full of anything you can possibly think of, yet some are starving without any food to eat, and others are throwing out more waste than can feed a whole country. Very strange.
How do you explain the average man and what comes out of his mouth?
They're sitting there destroying their own planet, and now they want to come to our planet and destroy it.
We have time for one more. Anybody want to say how wonderful these human beings are?
These human beings are crazy. Look at who they have running the country. The fat man, long tie. He's so stupid. I don't know what they're getting from him. He is so stupid. Why don't they use the guns they have? Excuse me, maybe I best not say that.
Well, then we'll leave off on that note. But I want to add something. The reason why we did this exercise helps to point out just because something is accepted doesn't mean it's the best way or the only way of doing something. And that doing things, over and over again doesn't give enough justification for not having a better method of doing something else. So we could see all that we said doesn't sound great, but there's definitely room for change. And that's why we're here tonight. So we're going to watch a video, and beautiful one. So enjoy it. And then we'll have a discussion after.
This is our life. Sure, we can rethink everything about it, but we shouldn't. Instead, we should just keep it the way it is. Habits are hard to break, and let's face it, it's easier to simply exist from paycheck to paycheck. It's fast becoming unheard of to lead a life of happiness, equality, and brotherhood, and wake up to a world full of love. And we raise our children to demand brand values over social values. Gone are the days when we crave mutual care, unity, and concern for others, and we give out awards for power, vanity, and net worth. We just don't give a damn about is our new anthem. And unity is not an option for the 99% and the 1%. Self-interest is the only way to survive in this new world, and the idea that we're one big loving family is slowly dying out. Our narcissistic culture of scorn and fear is gradually enveloping our hearts, while a true feeling of warmth and solidarity is but a vague memory in our minds. The rule of manipulation, greed, and exploitation has invaded our society and occupied our city squares. Love your neighbor as you love yourself is the biggest cliche anyone can think of. You can't change anything here. This is our life, but we can turn it around. Together. This is our life, but we can turn it around. "You can't change anything here" is the biggest cliche anyone can think of. "Love your neighbor as you love yourself" has invaded our society and occupied our city squares. The rule of manipulation, greed, and exploitation is but a vague memory in our minds, while a true feeling of warmth and solidarity is gradually enveloping our hearts. Our narcissistic culture of scorn and fear is slowly dying out. And the idea that we're one big loving family is the only way to survive in this new world. Self-interest is not an option for the 99% and the 1%, and unity is our new anthem. We just don't give a damn about power, vanity, and net worth, and we give out awards for mutual care, unity, and concern for others. Gone are the days when we craved brand values over social values. And we raise our children to demand a world full of love and wake up to lead a life of happiness, equality, and brotherhood. It's fast becoming unheard of to simply exist from paycheck to paycheck. Habits are hard to break, and let's face it, it's easier to just keep it the way it is. But we shouldn't. Instead, we should rethink everything about it. Sure we can. This is our life.
I always love that video. It seems somehow I saw that video probably the first time in 2012, and it just seems even more relevant now. Back then it was almost like a vision. Now it's, well, we're talking about it today. So welcome everybody. My name is Sarah. I didn't get to introduce myself before. So I'm very excited to guide you through our main course. So everybody grab out your main course if you're having a coursed meal tonight. And the main course here is our roundtable discussion. So before we get into it, we're just going to review some of the technology. We're going to do a shortened version. So Rono, if you can put that up.
The mute/unmute button on a computer is at the lower left. On the iPad, it's the first item on top. The chat button on a computer is here in the middle. On the iPad, it is in the three-dot menu here.
Okay, great. So hopefully everybody got that. Basically, just remember to unmute yourself when you want to speak and mute yourself when you're not speaking. Okay, so we're going to move on to the etiquette. So if we can put up that slide, please. Okay, so we call this etiquette because it's kind of a nice way of saying rules, but there are rules that help us to make the difference between what we're going to do here versus what we do when we're having a normal conversation. So this is a little bit different, although it can often feel like a nice conversation. It feels a lot of times like the way conversations actually should be. So let's remember that we're here to build a space of support, love, care, and warmth. This is the most important thing, because what we're looking for here is we're not looking to be right. We're not looking to be heard. We're looking to create a space, an environment for all of us that feels inclusive and unified. And that's the main goal. This is a very ancient technique that people have been using all around the world. And you see it in many different forms, but the basic idea is to kind of put the pieces back together. So we're like a broken puzzle. Each of us has a piece to put together, and science calls it collective intelligence, right? There's a lot of science on how you actually find collective wisdom. It's greater than any of the pieces that are bringing it together. So that's what we're trying to do here. we've broken it down into 4 rules. We had 3 up until about a month ago, and then we decided to add one on because we felt like the group was really advancing. There are many more. These are the 4 basics that if we really stick to it, we'll find that it opens something up between us that we don't often find. So the first one is everyone is equal and very important. This is really important because we all have a tendency to think that I'm above, and it's not about color or race or creed or anything like that. It's just the ego, and it can attach itself to different things, but it's the idea that I think I'm somehow better or whatever. That doesn't exist here. We're all equal. Number 2 is we go around the table and speak briefly and on topic. This is really important. Our amazing content team has put together an incredible lineup that's meant to bring us on a journey. It's really important that we stick to the topic and each of us speaks for a brief amount of time. This allows an equal amount of time for everybody. Number 3 is we listen attentively. This one can be the most challenging. We have a tendency to listen only enough so that I know when it's my turn to speak. We're not doing that here. This time when you're not speaking, you are listening as though there's another voice inside of you that forgot the answer, and you're listening for it to come out from other people's mouths. Number 4 is there's no right or wrong answers. The truth is in the center of our connection. So we're looking to find an answer between all of us. And that means that it only exists from all of us. So let's just remember that. Let's always try to come back into the center. Let's try to add to each other and create this picture together. Okay, so we're going to go through 2 questions. The first question is this. Let's draw a picture together, verbally and collectively, of what we want our life together to look like. We're going to try to add to each other. Okay, so you're not thinking about what your next thing is. I'm going to be calling on everybody, so it's kind of like a snap. You just want to listen and add. What else? What else will we have? Okay, who's going to start us out? So I think the question, yes, Nina put the question in the chat if anybody needs to hear it. I'm going to read it one more time. Let's draw a picture together verbally and collectively of what we want our life together to look like. I love calling on Rono first. Rono, could you start us out?
Sure, thank you. I would think of a world where we cross each other in the street and we take a moment to look at each other's faces and, just wonder if someone that's coming across us is having a good time or if she needs she needs something to, just raise up his spirits.
Beautiful. Nancy.
I want our life together to be, I want us to be a community where we really act those actions of we are all equal and we all have something different to add and to listen. We should listen to each other and look forward to things.
Thank you, Nancy. Paula.
I'd like a world where everybody, like Nancy said, listens to each other. I think if everybody felt heard, it would really change a lot.
Yeah. Christian.
Yeah, and to add to everyone, give people the sensation, the reminder that every human being is so important, and everyone has something to share and a certain quality that cannot be emulated by anyone else. So instead of trying to eliminate qualities or anything in that direction, to try to appreciate everyone for who they are.
That's great. Mushki?
I don't know. All saying things that are important. I don't know. Maybe you could come back to me.
Okay. Alex.
I think where we find ourselves now isn't that bad. And so I would say, let's continue doing what we're doing, namely keep progressing scientifically, intellectually, and morally.
Okay, Linda.
I think the people who have a lot of something should share it with those who need that thing. You have $1 million, what the heck you going to do with $1 million? Give it to the poor for food. That's what I'd like to see.
Thank you. And Brandon.
I want to see people be more friendly towards each other and have an attitude of happiness with each other.
Thank you, Brandon. I don't see your name, but do I remember that it's Sine?
Yeah, it's Tanae. I think having more empathy for each other, I would like to see that we can put ourselves in somebody else's shoes a little bit more so we can understand them better and actually be helpful. Because I think once we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes, we try to be helpful because we can be in their place.
Thank you. Soleil. Remember to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
True equality, respect, and love. I have different category that pertains to the statement: social and financial, race, and sex. And I'm sure I forgot a subcategories, but I mean everything.
Very thorough. Thank you. Carl.
Through the news and through everybody's attitude, I'd love to see people getting excited about good news.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this in there. I always tell people, because they forget, like if you go to the grocery store and you're looking for a particular item and they don't have it, and then you just walk out going, oh, they didn't have it. And I always say, did you ask them for it? And people say no. And I'm like, well, how are they going to know you need it? If you ask them and then tell your friend to ask them or ask them twice, you'll see next time you go, they're going to have that thing. So you want more news, make good news, and it'll become popular.
Can I throw something in when you're done?
Yeah, let's wait. Let's just try to get everybody in. Who have we not heard from yet? Natalia, I know you're on support, but maybe you can answer quickly.
Okay, yes, I'm thinking about many things, but I imagine myself, people just outside, spend lots of time outside, and they don't work as much, but everybody does whatever he likes to do, and everybody contributes to society as much as he can do with all his talents. So you work and you enjoy your work, and you spend lots of time outside, and people have lots of things to do, and they all friendly, like one family, like one loving family.
Thank you, Natalia. Okay, Nancy, do you want to say something quick before we move on to the next question?
Shankar Vedantam runs an amazing podcast called The Hidden Brain. It's not neurological, it's fascinating. And last night what they were talking about is people tend to look at today and think it was much better before, because the news wants to put out bad. That's what they feed us, is bad, bad, bad. What they don't tell us is how much we have lessened poverty, actually, and how there are good things going on. So everybody looks to the future and thinks it's bad now, but it's going to get worse. And that is simply not true. It comes from too much of what they feed us on the news.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I mean, I always think, just to add to that, is, well, you have to think, like, why are we consuming that? You know, they have tried to make positive news agencies, and they fail because people don't want to listen to good news. People like the drama. We like this is the thing that we have to look at, really, is why are we ingesting this? What is it that we like about this? Because it's feeding something. Okay, let's move to our second question.
Wait, you know what? Can I say one more thing?
Let's wait. Let's just wait. I apologize because I got us off topic.
Seconds. I swear to God.
2 seconds, Nancy.
Okay. I, as we know, have a brain injury. I talked to a woman in Starbucks on the Upper East Side about creating a good news channel. She said she was one of those lawyers that create your intellectual property lawyers. I got scammed out of $12,000, you guys.
Oh God.
Because
Okay.
I thought
there
she
you
was
go.
gonna
Case
watch good news.
Okay, so let's move on to our second question. So, how can we embrace change and rethink our old habits to lead a life of happiness? So Nina put it in the chat. So how can we embrace change and rethink our old habits? And Elisa, can you start us out?
Sure, the change, the longer you live, the one of the things that you learn, I think, is just to accept the change first and then see where it leads you to. Like, for example, what happened during the lockdown, you realize that it's not just you are sitting in your cage, and your family and maybe your neighbor. No, it is not even the United States. This is the entire world. And this approach to change now has to change. It's not only me who has to change. We all collectively have to change. And as you mentioned, there is a collective consciousness. And together, this changes. I'm psyched. I'm so excited. It will be amazing for the entire planet.
Thank you, Elisa. Very uplifting. Christian, how about you?
Thank you. I think it's all about importance. We have a media culture that feeds us certain things that makes us believe that what we're chasing right now is important. So I think if we shift our values to values of, positive human connections, embracing the natural world, the splendor that we actually exist in, and not this, concrete jungle nonsense that we're so sucked into nowadays. I think we have an excited future if we approach it that way.
Thank you. Paula.
I think looking for the positive in everything is very important. More than likely, every bad situation has something positive that will come out of it if you look hard enough. I think that's important.
Thank you, Paula. These are really kind of practical and useful. So I want to try to get in as many people as possible. We only have a couple of minutes left. So everybody try to be brief because I really want to hear from everybody. Sine.
I think going inside an inner journey, and I'm thinking about meditation, because I think when we meditate, we are able to not change ourselves, but change others as well when we think about it. And relative to everybody else. So inner journey is very important to start that change and bring it to others.
Thank you, Sine. Gary.
Yeah, I think for me, I've learned that you don't fight change because it'll just make things worse. If there's inevitable change, you just learn how to deal with it and learn how to roll with it and how to make the best of it. And I wanted to say one thing that I'd like to see changed is we pay too much attention to work now, too much emphasis on work and not enough on relationships. I want to reverse that, where the relationships are the most important thing and work is just, so that's it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. Soleil. Yeah.
Sorry. Technology and me don't go really well. Change, I find it difficult and challenging, personally and in general, politically. And I think that the older you get, the harder it gets.
Thank you. So we should start now. Mushki, how about you?
Yeah, so I just want to say, it's like often we make a identity out of our problems and our life situation. And when we make an identity out of our misery, it's really hard to move on because changing means that now you are forming like a whole new identity, which naturally you reject because it feels unnatural. So I think it's important to not identify with your problems and not get too comfortable with one's misery, because the comfort zone becomes a prison and stops all sort of changes.
Very wise words from a young woman. Carl, and then Brandon, and then yeah. So briefly, both of you, please.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's people out there that are very hip to change and embrace change. So, if I can get away from my watching the news and all this, and join groups like the Open Diner, this is a good way.
And Brandon?
I agree with Carl. We just have to accept. It's like the Serenity Prayer. You accept the things that you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling just listening to all of you that it's such a gift. Like I heard it from Elisa starting out, like it's a gift when the whole world gets an opportunity to just hit pause and rethink. Like we're on autopilot from the moment we're born until the moment we die. When do we ever get a chance to rethink the way that we're doing things globally? That's like the biggest thing to do, is just say, okay, thank you, and now let's rethink it like we're doing here today. Yeah, like everybody said, doing that inner journey, doing it individually, doing it collectively, recognizing that this is an opportunity for change, and that it's like we can do anything. We could do anything. Literally, we just sort of have to decide what it is, and we have to utilize each other. Okay, beautiful. So that was a great roundtable. Thank you everybody for investing in it, because yeah, I look forward to looking at the notes afterwards. Okay, so everybody knows this is my favorite part. Now we get to do a dance party together. So for everybody that's been here before, we all love this. It's everybody's favorite part. For anybody that doesn't have their video on, if you could put your video on just for a minute, we don't care what you look like. We all look beautiful from over Zoom. For this is just a reminder for everybody, because even when we've done it a million times, we forget. Okay, so we're going to be spotlighting. We had a little taste of it earlier with the live song. So what spotlighting looks like to everybody on the screen is they're going to see one person. We no longer have like the full screen now of of all the faces in the boxes. You're only going to see one face in the middle of the screen. To the person being shown, you're not going to see that. What you're going to see is in the middle of your screen, a big box of text. Ignore it, okay? It's a trap. Don't look at it. All it's doing is letting you know that you're being spotlighted, and it's maybe asking for permission. It doesn't matter. Totally ignore it. Just give us your best dance move, okay? Because that's all we're seeing is what you're doing. When you do this, that's your dance move. That's what we're all getting to see. So forget it. Don't try to read it. Just do your dance move. We're all going to follow you until it spotlights to the next person. And the next person, don't do this. Don't do it. Just dance, okay? And we're all going to dance together. Have a great time. Soleil likes it. Okay, I can't wait to dance with you guys. I'm sure it's coming any second, but this is great. Warm up.
Warm up.
Can't hear it.
Learning to unite. Learning to unite. Let your heart speak. Let your heart listen. Shoulder to shoulder, you won't be alone.
Love is around the deepest ocean. Together we're drawn in. I won't let go. It feels so good to be a part of you.
This is what their life should be. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. Dearest friends, thank you for being. Thank you for hearing what my heart says.
Now is the time for the walls to be broken, for the doors to be open. It's time to break. It feels so good to be a part of you.
This is what their life should be. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. There's only now, only this moment, when we are together,
Together as one.
All right.
All right, everybody. Everybody get their workout. Everybody get their exercise. Okay, good. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here in a second. But first, before we do that, we want to just hear from everybody. What did you think? What did you get out of this? What are you going to take with you this week? Give us your impressions and let us know what you felt. What did you think? Who wants to start?
I'm gonna take all the knowledge I learned today and put it towards the positive, making new friends and everything.
Great. Good to hear.
I learned so often in life we just want to complain, but as cliche as it may seem, we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. So embracing change and being part of that change is important.
I wish I didn't talk so much.
I like the positive connotation that we put on change instead of looking at it as negative. Sometimes we have tendency to look at change as negative because we always think about the good old days, but there's some value into change. And that's something that I learned today. And I really, really love the dance because I'm a dancer. So that was great.
That was excellent. It made me think that, sometimes we don't realize that maybe the future, maybe change can make things better than they were. We have to realize that the best hasn't happened yet, and we can make it happen. Soleil, what did you think? Your mic. Can't hear. There you go.
Good at muting myself, apparently. I think that there's a lot of people from Brooklyn, and intellectually, it's very hard for me to accept that change is part of life, as well as emotionally.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but I'm glad you were here today. Anybody else?
I'll add, I think aliens know a lot of stuff, and we should listen to something where a different perspective, and then maybe we could change. So I was making a joke though, but thank you. I think it was wonderful tonight.
Change is a lot easier with friends. Much easier. We'll just spread that load out.
Yeah, just I think change is difficult, but when we kind of, release into it, it can be great. But the thing that I was reminded of tonight and learned through experience is that when change is coming, if we talk to one another and we try to learn from each other and visualize what the change could bring, that's when we're proactively bringing the change. So thank you.
That's great. It's about time we're running out of time. So we're going to have one more song by Christian before we go, and to take us out in a nice mood and to put a cap on the end of all this. So Christian, take it away.
All right. All right. Bow, bow, bow. Hold on to each other, yeah. Bow, 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 bow. No matter what, yeah. Bow, 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 now. Through the ups and downs. Oh, bow, 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 bow. Keep holding on, holding on. Bow, bow, bow. Hold on to your brothers. Bow, 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 now.
no matter what, yeah. Through the ups and downs. Bow, 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 bow. Keep holding on, yeah. It's time to hold on. It's time to be free. In this world, we're all one. Let's live like family, yeah. It's time to rise up. You can't even fall down. It doesn't matter when you're holding on, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Bow, bow, bow. And though life may be bitter, bow, 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 now, or even lacking taste, bow, 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 now, there's a way to rise. Bow, 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 to a higher place, yeah. Bow, bow, bow. And even though you may wanna go, bow, 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 now, and slip away, slip away, slip away, yeah, yeah. Just don't let go, bow, 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 'cause your friends will hold on. It's time to hold on. It's time to be free. In this world, we're all one. Let's live like family. It's time to rise up. You can't even fall down. It doesn't matter when you're holding on, yeah. It's time to hold on. It's time to be free. In this world, we're all one. Let's live like family, yeah. It's time to rise up. You can't even fall down. No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter if you're holding on, holding on.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Oh, we just wanted to let everybody know we have if we can show our links on to we're on Facebook, we're on Meetup, we're on YouTube, Instagram. Go in and like all of these. The links are also in the chat. Go in and like. Tell your friends. Come back. It's every Thursday at 6:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Central Time. What else? Thank you to the technical team for getting us through this smoothly and safely. Nobody had an accident. Nobody got hurt, which was good. Nobody poked their eyes out. So come back next week. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you. Tell your friends. Like us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you, friends.
See you next Thursday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.